Welcome back to CSI Crime Scene Investigation. I'm on location at the house, babysitting my beautiful granddaughter. Let's see how long this is going to last. Chapter 35 of the Book of Jubilees, right here on CSI Crime Scene Investigation. And in the first year of the first week of the 45th Jubilee, Rebecca called Jacob her son and commanded him regarding regarding his father and regarding his brother, that he should honor them all the days of his life. Verse 2. And Jacob said, I will do everything as thou hast commanded me, for this thing will be honored and greatness to me, and righteousness before the Lord, that I should honor thee. Verse 3. And thou too, mother, knowest that from the time I was born unto this day, all my deeds and all that is in my heart, that I always speak good concerning all. Verse 4. And how should I not do the things which thou hast commanded me, that I should honor my mother and my brother? Verse 5. Tell me, what perversity hast thou seen in me, and I shall turn away from it, and mercy will be upon me. Verse 6. And she said unto me, my son, I have not seen in thee all my days in preference, in preference, but only upright deeds and deeds. I will tell thee the truth, my son. I shall die this year, and I shall not survive this year in my life, for I have seen in a dream the day of my death, that I should not live beyond 155 years, and behold, I have completed all the days of my life which I am to live. It's interesting how they basically know exactly just about when they are getting ready to depart. Verse 7. And Jacob laughed at the words of his mother, because his mother had said unto him that she should die, and she was sitting opposite to him in possession of her strength. And she was not infirm in her strength, for she went in and out and saw, and her teeth were strong, and all days of her life. Verse 8. And Jacob said unto her, Blessed am I, mother, if my days approach the days of my life, and my strength remain with me, thus as thy strength, and thou wilt not die. For thou art jesting idly with me regarding thy death. Verse 9. And she went in to Isaac and said unto him, One petition I made unto thee, make Esau swear that he will not injure Jacob, nor pursue him with enmity. For thou knowest Esau's thoughts, that they are perverse from his youth, and there is no goodness in him, desires after thy death to kill him. Verse 10. And thou knowest all that he has done since the day Jacob his brother went to Haran until this day, how he has with his whole heart, and has done evil to us. Thy flock he has taken to himself, and carried off all the possessions from before thy face. Verse 11. And when he implored and besought him for what was our own, he did as a man who was taking pity on us. Verse 12. And he is bitter against thee, because thou didst bless Jacob thy perfect and upright son. For there is no evil, and since he came from Haran unto this day, he has not robbed us of aught, for he brings us everything in its season always, and rejoice with all his heart when we take at his hands, and he blessed us and has not parted us since he came from Haran until this day, and he remains with us continually at home, honoring us. Now, you all know in a previous chapter we dealt with Father Abraham telling Rebecca to blessings of Abraham and Isaac, and that is the reason why. We didn't really have the reasons why she did all she did to get that blessing up on him from Isaac, but because of Jubilees, we have the understanding of that. Because Father Abraham told her to do basically, in other words, do everything you can to make sure that boy gets the blessing and to carry out, because he's the key to blessing this family. Okay. And Isaac said unto her, I too know and see the deeds of Jacob, who is with us, how that with all his heart he honors us, but I love Esau formerly more than Jacob, because he was the firstborn. But now I love Jacob more than Esau, for he has done manifold evil deeds. There is no righteousness in him, for all his ways are unrighteousness and violence, and there is no righteous around him. Verse 14. And now my heart is troubled because of all his deeds, and neither he nor his seed is to be saved, for they are those who will be destroyed from the earth, and who will be rooted out from under heaven. For he has forsaken the God of Abraham and gone after his wives and after their uncleanness and after their error, he and his children. Verse 15. And thou dost bid me make him swear that he will not slay Jacob his brother. Even if he swear, he will not abide by his oath, and he will not do good, but evil only. Because see, the descendants of Esau not obeying their word, always breaking their word, bearing false witness, truth breakers, all of this we already know. And it's just that. Now, I'm not saying all of them are, but the ones who want to please God, there's only a few, only just a few who want to please God. But if you really, really look deep down in their heart and you put to the test certain questions, you will see some of you will come because of their fathers' DNA is on the inside, and we'll talk about that later on down the road. If you want to do this, we're going to probably get into this apocrypha and discuss that information. Verse 16. But if he desires to slay Jacob's brother into Jacob's hand, will be forgiven, and he will not escape from his hand, for he will descend into his hand. 17. And fear thou not on account of Jacob, for the guardian of Jacob is great and powerful and armed and praised more than the guardian of Esau. 18. And Rebekah said and called Esau, and he came to her and said unto him, I have petitioned my son to make unto thee, and do thou promise to do it, my son. Verse 19. And that thou sayest unto me, and I will not refuse thy petition. Verse 20. And she said unto him, I ask you that bury me near Sarah, thy father's mother, and that thou and Jacob will love each other, and that neither will desire against the other, but mutual love only. And so ye will prosper, my son, and be honored in the midst of the hand, and no enemy will rejoice over you, and ye will be a blessing and a mercy in the eyes of those that love you. Verse 21. And he said, I will do all that thou hast told me, and I shall bury thee on the day that thou diest near Sarah my father's mother, as thou hast desired, that her bones be verse 22. And Jacob my brother also I shall love above all flesh, for I have not in all the earth but him only. And this is no great merit for me if I love him, for he is my brother. And we were sown together in thy body, and together came forth from thy womb. And if I do not love my brother, whom shall I love? Verse 23. And I myself beg thee to exalt Jacob concerning me and concerning my son, for I know that he will certainly be king over me and my sons. For on the day my father blessed him, he made him the higher, and me the lower. 24. And I swear unto her regarding all this matter, and she called Jacob and gave him commandment according to the words which she had spoken to Esau. Verse 26. And he said, I shall do thy pleasure. Believe me that no evil will proceed from me or from my sons against Esau, and I shall be first in naught save in love only. Verse 27. And they ate and drank, she and her sons, that night, and she died. 3 jubilees and 1 week and 1 year old on that night. And her 2 sons, Esau and Jacob, buried her in the double cave near Sarah, their father's mother. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, on next week, we'll get back into the book of Jubilees. Again, we will go into chapter 36, where Isaac gives to give directions to his son as to the burial, exhort them to love one another, and make them impeccable discretions on him who injures his brother. Divides his possessions, giving the larger portion to Jacob, and dies. Leah dies. Jacob's sons come to comfort him. This is all next week in chapter 36. We'll be right back with some closing announcements. You're listening to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, as we look into the things that we did not know because they tried to hide our information. You're listening to CSI on the Blog Talk Radio Network.
Atomic Beast.
Nothing in this life is free, and making money is what only made sense to me. Make money, take money, that's what I would hear. Pop bottles, get the champagne crystal clear. In a fast car, switching lanes, switching gears. Keep the music bumping so I'm drowning out my pain and tears. I'm thinking I would be a famous rapper, make a record about slanging and drugs and name it after everyone that said that I would never make it. So